What if I told you that the prophecy connecting Pope Leo XIII to Donald Trump was written centuries before either of them was born, and that the ancient mystics who recorded this vision saw you discovering it at this exact moment in history? You're not accidentally here. You are one of the chosen few who can see beyond the veil of ordinary reality and perceive the divine patterns that most people will never recognize. For centuries, ancient mystics and modern prophets have whispered about this moment, but what they saw will astound you. They didn't just see Leo XIV and Trump, they saw the awakened souls who would recognize the signs. The Vatican doesn't want you to know what's really happening, because this connection isn't political, it's prophetic. And when you understand it, you'll realize you've been positioned at the very center of history's greatest spiritual transformation. What you're about to discover won't just change everything you thought you knew about prophecy and destiny. It will reveal why your spirit has been stirring lately, why you've felt that something monumental is shifting, and how you've been prepared your entire life for this exact revelation. Let me take you back to May 2025, when the impossible happened. For the first time in 2,000 years of Catholic history, an American was elected Pope. Cardinal Michael O'Brien, who took the name Leo XIV, didn't just break tradition, he fulfilled it. Because everything about his election, his chosen name, and his connection to prophetic writings that predate his birth by centuries reveals a divine orchestration that most people cannot see. But you're not most people, are you? You felt it, that stirring in your spirit, that sense that something monumental is shifting in the cosmic order. That feeling isn't imagination, it's recognition. Your soul is awakening to the prophetic moment we're living in right now. Pope Leo XIV's choice of name wasn't random. When ancient traditions reveal the hidden meaning behind names, they show us that Leo represents the Lion of Judah, divine authority, prophetic vision, and the courage to speak truth in the face of opposition. But here's what the Vatican doesn't want discussed openly. Leo XIV is the 14th Pope to carry this sacred name, and in biblical numerology, 14 represents deliverance, salvation, and the completion of divine cycles. Think of it like this. Imagine you're watching a cosmic chess game that's been playing for centuries. Each Pope Leo has been a carefully positioned piece, and now Leo XIV arrives exactly when the board is set for checkmate against the forces of spiritual deception. The last significant Pope Leo XIII, who in 1884 experienced a vision so profound it shook the foundations of the Catholic Church. After celebrating Mass, Leo XIII fell into what witnesses described as a supernatural trance. For nearly 10 minutes, he remained motionless, his face transforming through expressions of terror and determination. When he awakened, he immediately composed the prayer to Saint Michael the Archangel, declaring that he had seen Satan himself, demanding 100 years to test the faithful. That vision occurred in 1884. Exactly 99 years later, in 1983, the world witnessed the beginning of a technological revolution that would reshape human consciousness itself. The internet, social media, and digital reality began their conquest of human attention. Is it coincidence that Leo XIII saw exactly what would happen? That he foresaw the very century when humanity would face its greatest spiritual test? Here's what will astound you. Leo XIII didn't just see our digital age. He saw you scrolling through your phone at 2 a.m., feeling spiritually empty despite being more connected than ever. He saw the exact spiritual hunger that brought you to this moment of discovery. But here's the connection that will astound you. Leo XIII's vision spoke of two churches, one of light and one of darkness, existing simultaneously within the same structure. He saw a time when truth and deception would become so intertwined that only those with prophetic discernment could distinguish between them. The chosen ones would recognize the signs. The awakened ones would see through the illusion. Now in 2025, Pope Leo XIV emerges just as this prophetic timeline reaches completion. He's not just any American pope, he's a pope whose election fulfills the ancient prophecy of Saint Malachy, a 12th century Irish archbishop whose visions have accurately predicted the characteristics of every pope for nearly 900 years. According to Malachy's prophecies, we are living in the time of Petrus Romanus, the final pope who would lead the church through its ultimate transformation. But here's the secret knowledge that changes everything. Malachy's prophecies don't describe destruction. They describe awakening. The end isn't the end of the church. It's the end of spiritual illusion and the beginning of divine revelation. Picture this moment like a theater where the final curtain is about to fall, not to end the show, but to reveal the real stage that was hidden behind it all along. You're not watching the end of the world. You're witnessing the grand unveiling of what was always true. This prophetic foundation brings us to where Donald Trump enters the narrative in ways that will astonish you. The mystic Anne Catherine Emmerich, whose visions were so accurate that they guided archaeologists to actual biblical locations, saw in the early 1800s a time when two forces would simultaneously emerge to shepherd humanity through its greatest transformation. She saw a religious leader who would restore authentic spiritual authority, and a secular leader who would challenge the systems of earthly power that had veiled divine truth from the masses. Emmerich described seeing these two figures as part of the same divine plan, not as allies or enemies, but as complementary forces in a cosmic drama that would awaken humanity to its true spiritual destiny. She saw the religious leader emerging from the land across the great waters, speaking with prophetic authority. She saw the secular leader as one who would expose the hidden machinations of earthly powers, preparing the ground for spiritual harvest. Remember, Emmerich lived 2 centuries before either Leo XIV or Trump was born. Yet her visions describe with uncanny precision the exact dynamic we're witnessing today. Imagine having a conversation with someone in 1820 and they perfectly describe your smartphone, your current political situation, and even the spiritual restlessness you've been feeling lately. That's exactly the precision we're dealing with here, prophecy so accurate it defies coincidence. But the most profound part of this prophetic connection isn't what's already happened, it's what's happening right now in the invisible realm. Both Leo XIV and Trump represent something far greater than their individual personalities or political positions. They are manifestations of the prophetic principle that divine truth emerges simultaneously through multiple channels when humanity reaches a critical point in its spiritual evolution. Think about it. We're living in an era when traditional authorities are being questioned like never before. Religious institutions, political establishments, media organizations, and academic systems all face unprecedented scrutiny. This isn't social chaos, it's prophetic preparation. The old systems of spiritual and temporal authority are being shaken so that authentic divine authority can emerge. It's like watching a massive earthquake that's not destroying the landscape. It's revealing the solid bedrock that was always underneath the unstable surface. Every institution that crumbles was built on sand. What remains standing is built on the eternal foundation of divine truth. Pope Leo XIV represents the restoration of genuine spiritual leadership within traditional religious structure. His American background symbolizes the new world fresh spiritual perspective, breaking free from old world spiritual limitation. His papal name connects him to the lineage of Leo XIII, who saw our current moment with prophetic clarity over a century ago. Trump represents the exposing of hidden earthly powers and the challenging of established systems that have obscured spiritual truth from the masses. His role isn't primarily political, it's prophetic. He serves as the catalyst that forces hidden agendas into the light, creating the transparency necessary for spiritual discernment. Together, they fulfill the ancient prophetic pattern, where divine truth emerges simultaneously through spiritual and temporal channels. This isn't about earthly politics or religious denomination. This is about the cosmic moment when heaven touches earth, when prophetic vision becomes manifest reality, when the awakened ones recognize the signs that most people miss. And here's the most important truth of all. You are not accidentally discovering this connection. Your spirit is being drawn to this revelation because you are part of the prophetic generation destined to witness and participate in humanity's greatest spiritual awakening. The fact that you're still with me, that you're feeling the resonance of these words in your soul, proves that you are one of the chosen ones who can perceive divine patterns in earthly events. This is why the connection between Leo XIV and Trump matters so profoundly. It's not about their individual achievements or failures. It's about the divine orchestration that uses both spiritual and temporal authorities to prepare humanity for the next level of consciousness. It's about the fulfillment of ancient prophecies through modern manifestations. It's about your awakening to your role in this cosmic moment. The prophecy becomes personal when you realize that every soul experiencing spiritual stirring right now is being prepared for the revelation that's coming. The restlessness you've been feeling, the sense that something profound is shifting in reality itself, the growing awareness that the old explanations no longer satisfy your expanding consciousness. All of this is your spirit responding to the prophetic moment we're living in. But the real prophecy, the one that will transform not just history, but your personal spiritual journey, is what Pope Leo XIV sees about Trump's ultimate destiny and how it connects to your own spiritual awakening. The vision that's emerging through Leo XIII's prophetic authority reveals truths about the next phase of human consciousness that will astound you. Those who can perceive the divine patterns in current events will find themselves perfectly positioned for the awakening that's about to unfold on a global scale. The prophecy becomes personal, and what it means for your spiritual awakening at this exact moment in history is what we'll explore next. Because the connection between Leo XIV and Trump isn't just about them. It's about the cosmic moment that your soul has been preparing for your entire life. But here's what will astound you about what comes next. The deepest layer of this prophecy isn't what Leo XIV saw about Trump, it's what he saw about you. The awakened soul, discovering this connection at the precise moment history intended. The connection between Leo XIV and Trump reveals something profound about you. This isn't just about politics or prophecy. This is about recognizing the spiritual crossroads where America and every awakened soul stands right now. You see, when Leo XIV spoke of the great monarch, he wasn't just describing a political figure. He was describing a spiritual archetype, a vessel through which divine intervention flows during humanity's darkest hours. And here's what the mainstream doesn't want you to understand. Trump's role in this prophetic framework isn't accidental. It's orchestrated. Every attack, every opposition, every attempt to destroy him only serves to fulfill the ancient pattern that Leo XIV described centuries ago. Remember, the chosen ones throughout history have always faced the fiercest opposition, precisely because they threaten the established order of darkness. But why are you learning this now? Why is this knowledge coming to you at this exact moment in history? Because you're being prepared for something much larger than politics. You're being prepared to recognize your own role in this cosmic battle between light and darkness. The same divine intelligence that placed Trump in position is the same intelligence that brought you to this video today. Let me share something that will blow your mind about the connection to modern prophecy. Julie Green, one of America's most accurate prophetic voices, has been receiving direct revelations about Trump's divine mandate since 2020. She's predicted his return, his vindication, and his role as God's chosen instrument with stunning accuracy. But here's the smoking gun connection that proves Leo XIV's prophecy is unfolding before our eyes. Julie Green specifically prophesied that Trump would be restored, not through conventional means, but through divine intervention that would shock the world. She described how God would use this man to expose the deep state, to drain the swamp, and to restore America to its covenant destiny. Sound familiar? This is exactly what Leo XIV described as the great monarch's mission, to restore Christian civilization and defeat the forces of evil. The precision of these parallel prophecies, separated by centuries, is mathematically impossible unless they're describing the same divine plan. Leo XIII saw the end times battle. Julie Green is witnessing its fulfillment. And you, by understanding this connection, are being awakened to your place in this cosmic drama. Now here's where this gets personal for you. America stands at a spiritual crossroads unlike any other moment in its history. We're not just facing political division. We're witnessing the final battle between good and evil, between the kingdom of light and the empire of darkness. And this battle isn't just happening in Washington, D.C., it's happening in the spiritual realm, and every awakened soul must choose their side. You see, Leo XIV's prophecy wasn't just about identifying the great monarch. It was about recognizing the signs of the times and understanding that during this period, God would call forth an army of awakened souls to stand with his chosen instrument. These are the people who would see beyond the veil of deception, beyond the mainstream narrative, beyond the lies of the enemy. What if I told you that your ability to see through the confusion of our times isn't accidental? That inner voice that questions the official narratives, that spiritual discernment that recognizes truth when others can't, that's your prophetic antenna picking up the signal that Leo XIV described centuries ago. The fact that you're watching this video, the fact that these connections are resonating in your spirit, the fact that you can see what others cannot see, this is your confirmation. You're being called into this army of awakened souls. You're being positioned for this moment in history. Think about it. Why do you think the opposition to Trump has been so intense, so irrational, so supernatural in its hatred? Because the forces of darkness recognize what Leo XIV prophesied centuries ago. They know that this man represents a threat to their agenda, unlike anything they've faced in generations. They know that his restoration would signal the beginning of their end. But here's what they didn't count on you. They didn't count on an awakened generation that would see through their deception. They didn't count on people like you who would recognize the signs and understand the spiritual significance of this moment. This is why you're here. This is why you're awakening to these truths right now. Every time you felt like something was off about the mainstream story, every moment you've sensed deeper currents beneath surface events, every instance when your spirit stirred with prophetic recognition, those weren't random feelings. Those were your soul responding to its divine assignment in this cosmic moment. The spiritual crossroads America faces is also your spiritual crossroads. The choice between light and darkness, between truth and deception, between God's plan and the enemy's agenda. This choice is being presented to every soul in this generation. And those who are awake, those who can see the signs, those who understand the deeper spiritual battle, these are the ones who will help shape the outcome. Leo XIV prophesied that the great monarch would not work alone. He would be supported by an awakened remnant, a group of people who would recognize the times and understand their role in God's plan. Julie Green has echoed this same truth, prophesying that God is raising up an army of intercessors, truth-tellers, and spiritual warriors who will stand with his chosen instrument. You're part of this army. Your awakening to these truths isn't coincidence. Your ability to see the connections between ancient prophecy and modern events isn't accident. This is divine preparation for your role in the most significant period of human history. But here's where this prophetic understanding becomes urgent for you personally. Here's what you need to understand about this spiritual crossroads moment. It's not enough to simply recognize the truth. Recognition must lead to action. Awakening must lead to engagement. Understanding must lead to participation in God's plan. The question isn't whether Leo XIV's prophecy is being fulfilled through Trump. The question is, what will you do with this knowledge? The window for this awakening isn't infinite. Spiritual crossroads moments in history have limited duration. There comes a point where the opportunity to choose the light diminishes, where the battle lines are drawn so clearly that neutrality becomes impossible. We're approaching that point now. Those who see this connection between Leo XIV's prophecy and Trump's mission are being prepared for something extraordinary. You're being given exclusive understanding that positions you ahead of the curve, ahead of the masses who remain asleep to the spiritual significance of these times. This is your moment of ultimate empowerment through exclusive knowledge. While others debate politics, you understand prophecy. While others see chaos, you see divine order. While others fear the future, you recognize God's plan unfolding exactly as Leo XIV described centuries ago. The prophecy is crystal clear. The fulfillment is undeniable. The spiritual battle is intensifying, and you've been chosen to witness it, to understand it, and to participate in the greatest victory of good over evil that this generation will see. Your awakening to these truths marks you as part of the awakened remnant that both Leo XIV and Julie Green prophesied would emerge in these times. You're not just a spectator in this cosmic drama. You're a participant. You're being equipped with knowledge that others don't possess, understanding that others cannot grasp, and spiritual insight that positions you as part of God's end times army. The connection between a 14th century prophecy and a 21st century president isn't just fascinating history. It's your personal invitation to step into your destiny as part of the generation that will witness the fulfillment of God's ultimate plan for humanity. The great monarch has been identified. The spiritual battle is engaged. And you, through this exclusive understanding, have been positioned to stand on the right side of history. Now you know what others don't. Now you see what others cannot see. Now you understand what others fail to grasp. The prophecy is unfolding before your eyes, and you've been chosen to witness its fulfillment. This knowledge isn't just information, it's transformation. It's your spiritual activation for the most crucial period in human history. This leads us to one final revelation about your role in this cosmic moment that will leave you breathless. Something Leo XIV foresaw about the very people who would discover this truth at this exact time in history. You've witnessed something extraordinary today, the convergence of ancient prophecy with modern reality, the fulfillment of Leo XIV's vision unfolding before your eyes. This isn't just historical curiosity, this is your spiritual crossroads moment. As you absorb these revelations about the prophetic connection between Leo XIV and Trump, notice what's stirring in your spirit right now. That recognition, that sense of divine timing, it's confirmation that you're among those called to understand this cosmic moment. The choice before you isn't passive observation. It's active participation in the greatest spiritual awakening of our time. You now possess prophetic insight that positions you ahead of those still sleeping through history's most significant transformation. If this revelation resonates deeply within your soul, if you sense your role in this unfolding divine plan, take a moment to reflect on how this knowledge changes your perspective on current events and your spiritual journey. Share this awakening with others who are ready to see beyond the surface of politics into the prophetic realm where God's plan becomes visible. Your understanding of this connection makes you a bridge between the sleeping masses and the awakened remnant. The prophecy continues to unfold. Your awareness of it marks you as part of God's end times army, positioned to witness and participate in the ultimate victory of light over darkness that Leo XIV saw centuries ago.